welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Christy.
And I am Mia. And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so, or whatever.
We've been gone for a little bit.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, we took a couple of weeks break. Life be lifing.
I don't know what kind of season you all are in right now, but man.
Life is life. But I mean, you know what? Hey, I'm here for it. But real quick, before we get into the juiciness, I want to talk, send a shout out and a thank you of appreciation and recognition for those who support the show through our Buy Me Coffee link.
Thank you.
We appreciate you guys so much. Seriously. We appreciate the energy exchange. And it is very affirming and validated to hear from you all, either via message or through the Buy Me Coffee link. So thank you very much.
I like that, affirming.
Yeah, it is.
Because it is an energy exchange. I think a lot of people are like, oh, you're just asking for money. But no, it is an energy exchange. Like, if you're really receiving something from this and from the time that we're putting into this, then
we appreciate you acknowledging it. Like, real talk. That's not why we're doing it, but we, like, I can acknowledge and honor, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Okay. Man, I feel like so much has happened for my last episode. I kind of want to talk about what recently happened at some point. I mean, maybe it doesn't have to be today. But the last episode, we talked about creating from love. I hope you all enjoyed that episode. I think a lot of us just need to really shift our perspective on the way that we move and flow through life and realize that as women, we are creators. And the best place to be, especially if you're wanting to manifest, not even manifest, but if you just want to create your life, it's best to do it from a position of love.
I will, very recently I saw I think it was an interview or someone, a post, where the comedian Leslie, she's on SNL. I cannot remember her last name right now. Sister, tall.
Yep.
But she said that Cat Williams told her that, you'll make it when you stop being desperate. So, and he said, you start acting from your talents, not your desperation. And she said, I was broke. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But what she understood, and what I'm bringing this up because it's a very similar energy, instead of reacting and creating from a place of desperation or fear of failure or loss, creating from your highest vibration available to you at that time. It doesn't matter what it is. Reach the highest vibration that you can and create from there. So he was saying, you're creating something because you're broke. Create from your talent, because that's the highest version of yourself. And she said everything changed. So when we talk about when we talk about creating from love, like, that's the highest vibration of yourself, not the fear or scarcity or lack that you're feeling. I was like, yeah, that's it right there. Go on, girl.
And that's a lesson right there, which
that's
brings
a lesson
us into
today. Right. So what did you just say, Christy? Say, I don't know what cycle you guys are in. So we're going to talk about lesson cycles. And I think this is actually helpful for everybody, honestly, you guys. How to see the challenges and the blessings as the blessings in your lessons. So just expand your point of view and your ability to receive a new perspective. Let's say it like that. So if we view the lows of our lives as lessons, we gain a completely different perspective. As opposed to, like, this is something that is bad that has happened to me, and the devil's out to get me, and we make up a lot of excuses for accepting a challenge as something that is putting a damper on us or hindering our progress, as opposed to taking a moment to see, wait a minute, hold on. And like I said, all you have to do is look back on your life, you guys, and see where the times in your life where if I had not been through that, I would not be this, or I wouldn't know this. And
we were just talking about that earlier. And if you talk
about loving yourself, who you are today, there are things you just like, man, when you're going through it, it's different. So we're going to talk about that, you guys. How to get to that place in the middle of the challenge. Hindsight is beautiful, but
no, it really
there's just another opportunity.
Yeah. And honestly, like, but for this episode, and I think we've been saying this in our episodes of late, just be open.
Mm-hmm.
Just be open to a new perspective and a new way of thinking, and allow yourself to listen from a place not being judgmental, but just being open to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
And so something, this particular episode, Blessings of Lessons, we talked about this before. Like, we choose to come here. We choose.
Mm-hmm.
We all chose to be here on earth in this time and in this place for a purpose. And a lot of times, in order for us to, so there's this saying where Earth is one of the hardest schools, like in the solar system or the star system.
Dolores Cannon has a really good. If you guys,
her perspective is really cool.
Right. If you guys get a moment and want to hear an interesting perspective, and I love her explanation, just Google Dolores Cannon, excuse me, Earth is a School. And watch her speak about this. I love it. Go ahead. Sorry, I just want to put that in there so they can do a little background on it.
But no, that's great. And so basically, like what she shared, her story, she's not an intuitive, but just the work that she does, she's worked with a lot of people, done several interviews with clients, and has come up with these ideas or with these facts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we chose to be here. And one of the things that I really want you all to start thinking about is that, like, everything that we go through, there's always a blessing on the other side.
Yes.
Like, there's always a balance. There's not just all bad.
It all matters.
It all
means something.
It really does.
It all leads to something.
There's always a little bit of light that you can find. And so it's like a lesson learned is a blessing earned.
Mm-hmm.
And you combine those two, it's a blessing.
A blesson.
It's a blessing.
Okay, I can't take credit for that. We can. That's somebody else's words, but I thought it was awesome.
But it's true.
So, seriously, a lesson learned is a blessing earned. If you really, like I said, if you really think about in your own life, this is not, you guys, this is really not a difficult concept to understand and really embrace in your life. Truly think about the times in your life where you're like, I done done it now. This is it. I have really effed it up. And when you hunker down and allow yourself to get past it, work through it, move through it, forgive through it, whatever, heal through it, when you're on the other side of it, you look back, like, it may be years, it may be months, you just be like, whoo!
Yeah. You just have a completely...
Somebody be like, you're so patient. Why are you so patient? You're like, baby.
If you only knew.
I didn't come out like this. And if you talk to anyone with any maturity and wisdom, and it's just like, and they, especially people who have most people that I know, I might as well say all of them, because this is real talk. Everybody I know that operates in any level of peace in their life, where they have joy and contentment in their life, they would tell you about their lessons. They would tell you how I got here. They would straight tell you, baby, I didn't come out like this. Mm-mm. This marriage didn't look like this.
No.
Me as a mama didn't look like this.
Oh my gosh, we were just talking about that earlier.
Seriously.
Yeah, we were just.
So that's a thing, you guys. So let's talk about our blessed sons. Earlier, Chrissy, we talked about, I don't know what season you guys are in. I don't know about y'all. I'm just going to speak for myself here. What I have learned about myself, I stack my lessons. So I for real have lesson and growth and expansion cycles. So it's not like, a little like, oh, here's a little slap on the wrist for this one. And then, a couple of months go by and I'm like, no, ma'am. I stack these babies up in the years. Like,
stack on stack, racks on racks.
Racks on racks on racks. Baby. Nonstop.
It's so funny. So I feel like I did mine like early on.
Oh, baby, this one. Woo! So I can, like, real talk. This is 2020. I'm telling you, 39. I will be 46 this year, and I am not freaking playing with you. I know for a fact that I just went through 7 years of shit. Now, it wasn't, does that mean that I didn't experience any joy, any love, any contentment, any peace? Absolutely. Absolutely. Growth, expansion. What? Absolutely. But I would tell you emphatically that I am so much different. I am expanded than I was 7 years ago. Yeah. And not one of these beautiful, glorious, and I love who I am, expansions did not come with some pain. Like, for real. I stacked mine. I when I look at I'm like, it's a 7-year cycle. I'm like, I get it. I stacked mine. I get it.
B was like, ooh, we're about to have fun.
We about to, baby. Ooh. And now she's like, whoo. All right, girl, we did that. Your turn next, because I'm ready for the next cycle. Girl, when I say I'm handing off the baton to contentment, peace, being that cycle, and lessons being a minority participant in that cycle, I'm as opposed to the lead contractor. Some of y'all who got meebie weebies and DBs gonna understand what the hell I'm talking about. Lessons are going to be a subcontractor in this new cycle that I'm walking in, as opposed to the lead. I'm telling you right now. Contentment, joy, and peace. Yeah. That was a subcontract. That baby just showed up and once I got a little piece of it. No, ma'am, we flipping it. But I'm okay. That's just me. That's what I said. I can't speak for everybody.
But no, you are right. So before we started recording, excuse me, I was sharing what I went through in my first marriage, and the abuse that I went through, and just some of like the manipulation, the gaslighting, all of that. And I remember the day that it flipped.
You know what?
Yeah, because I used to have panic attacks. I remember I couldn't sleep well. My heart was palpitating. Like I was a mess. I was a mess. And I remember one night I finally said, like, I think I was laying on the bed, curled up in the fetal position, and I was crying. And I was like, why are we doing this? Like,
what are we doing?
I think it's time to change. I think it's time. Like, and it's just something just clicked. And I was like, yeah, I need to work through this. But if you think back at it, when you think back in the moments where you had like really hard times and you think about it now, it's like, wow, I learned so much about myself.
I really, when I think about this, Christy, I really wonder, what is it about the discovery of how beautiful it is to choose you? Like, what? And I can't speak for this. Again, this is just my experience. Mm-hmm. There's something magnificent to me in this journey where learning how to choose me. Choosing myself was not something that came to me.
Shush.
Easily.
No, I agree. I'm sorry.
No, you know what I mean? It didn't come to me. It did not come to me easily. I wasn't born with choosing me. Now I know people who, like, my younger sister. She came out like that. You know what I mean? She. I can recognize it in people. My daughter. Some people, like, everybody's lesson in life is different what they chose. Yeah. I learned how to choose me. So now that I'm in this space, it's like because I know what it feels like not to. And so now that I know what it feels like not to, and I know what it feels like to, it's not even a choice. It's like, I feel like, what are we even talking about? Yeah. But that was something I had to learn. That was not...
no, I agree.
That was not innate.
Me too. I had to learn that. But I mean, like, think about those hard times. It's like, wow, I learned something. And that was like, that is the blessing that came out of that lesson.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely. And I would say, Christy, and kind of bringing up what we were talking about before we started to record, just some of those painful experiences. So, wait, real quick, guys. We were watching an interview that I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I'm sure you have. Probably a lot of you. This relationship expert, Derek Jackson, and it's a very drama-filled situation between he and his wife. He's a relationship expert, telling women how to manage their emotions and men and et cetera, et cetera. Come to find out, bruh is a whole misrepresentation of what it is that he is teaching. He's doing such a good job of being able to identify narcissism and gaslighting and just emotional manipulation, because he's apparently like a master of it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, his wife. So this has been kind of out in the public for a while. So
I think we talked about it in an episode.
We probably have. Mm-hmm. Like it came. It's been a thing. It's really interesting to watch. So now, his wife recently did an interview on this podcast called Dear Future Wife. Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
And so Christy and I, Future Wifey. So Christy and I were watching this interview, and his wife's name is Danae Jackson. They're going through a divorce, and she's taken a lot of heat for what he's done, because people will look. This is the shit that blows my mind sometimes. Mm-hmm. How you mad at my response to what the fuck you did?
Right. And then you want to flip the table and try and make me feel bad? You want to make me feel guilty? I was just talking about that too.
Girl, that shit. So I really felt so much compassion for this woman, because people we're responding to, she got, the helmet of salvation viral video where she got on, she had a bonnet on or a hat or whatever. And like this woman, like, what? This woman has had an extremely painful experiences. This wasn't some dude she was just dealing with. She's known him since she was 19. It was her husband.
They babies.
Have 3 kids together. She's going through all type of things, and this man is out here clowning. So yes, she believed him because that's her husband. She needed to. She wanted to. And as she's coming into the realization of what is really happening, unfortunately for her, because he put himself out in public, now she's out in public. That's not what she signed up for. Yeah. So this interview that she did, I can see a woman processing an extremely painful experience and being bold enough and courageous enough to speak out literally in the middle of the healing, because let's keep it 100. Most people aren't going to speak about the pain in the middle of it, because you sound crazy.
Right. Or you might be embarrassed to share it.
Yes. So I gotta give her credit.
It was a very transparent interview.
It was a very transparent interview. I appreciate the podcast for giving her a platform and an opportunity, and I felt like he wasn't trying to drag this woman, that he was giving her space to speak her truth, her story, her side of it, So yeah. So anyway, so it was a painful experience. So as we're kind of talking about this episode, it's a reminder to not be afraid of painful experiences, because pain is neither good or bad in and of itself, right? But we can deal with it in either a good or a bad way. And you guys know I don't necessarily, good or bad are just titles, but to show polarity. But the way we respond to it and see it is up to us.
Agree. But
that does not mean you don't get hurt. Right. That doesn't mean that like you don't have the right to feel like, you know what? But you do have a choice. You can really, baby, you can murder somebody. You can ignore them. You can go have sex with somebody's daddy. Girl, you can do whatever you want. But, I shouldn't say but, and understand that every action has a reaction. Mm-hmm. So just like this, if somebody hurt you, they did whatever they wanted. Now that the ball is in your court to respond how you wish to. But understand you're creating your own story. The thing that we don't get sometimes is when we respond to pain that someone has inflicted in a way that we think is getting back in them, but truly we're just continuing to hurt ourselves. Facts. So that's why you got to take a little bit of some time. Say, wait a minute, hold on. Let me pull it back. So don't be afraid of those experiences. They are opportunities to search the depth with which you're willing to go to choose yourself. Am I going to bust this man's windows open and choose to inflict some time? You know what I mean? Think about it, because we're like, I want you to hurt. People want to hurt. They want you to feel what I feel. But at the end of the day, now you are getting arrested, and all he's about to do is pay for his windows to get fixed. Now what? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like we have to choose what we can do and respond to something.
So for pain, one of the things that I'm learning about pain, and the way that I think of things, it can be completely skewed, but I really feel like pain allows us to expand.
Absolutely.
It creates more space within us, because there's just so much that we have to go through to endure that pain. Mm-hmm. So now whenever I go through a painful situation, I look at it like, okay, you know what? I'm allowing more room. Like, I'm expanding right now. And through that expansion, like, I'm learning a whole bunch of shit.
I think I said this before. I truly believe that any pain that I've experienced when it comes to wanting to receive love or validation from another person, having worked through that pain has taught me more how to love myself, which has expanded my ability to surrender and receive love. That, like, and that sound, saying it out loud, on the surface, it sounds crazy. So wait, getting hurt allows you to experience more love? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will say, like, once you get to a point where you're able to look at life from a different perspective, I definitely agree. There may be some people who aren't there yet.
I agree 110%. Yeah. In the midst of it, it looks and feels different. But pull up whoever it is that you believe to be, and I'm speaking to the people listening, whoever it is that you believe to be either a hero, a mentor, someone that you look up to, you look at their story, you look at their success. I promise you, all of them have stories of failure. All of them have stories of pain. Time. You cannot get to success without failure.
Absolutely.
It's just,
they talk about Michael Jordan, like all the baskets that he makes versus the baskets that he doesn't make. It's like you have to accept failure as part of the process.
Yes.
And like something that I was saying to Mia before we started recording this is that I feel like a lot of times, like, well, okay, so we chose to be here, right? And we choose the lessons, like, we agree to come into this lifetime as a human, whatever we look like, and we were like, okay, these are the lessons that I need to learn, or that I'm electing to learn while I'm down here. I feel like we choose those lessons, but we don't necessarily choose how we go through them. But there's something out of those lessons that we need to learn, whether it's self-love, whether it's perseverance, or whether it's like really trusting ourselves.
So I would say it's like so we talk about the journey, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I think the journey, the big goal of the journey is the journey to self. Mm-hmm. So when I say journey to self, I'm talking journey to God, journey to the God within yourself, journey to the oneness,
the higher self.
Now, within that, there are so many different steps and lessons and opportunities to expand yourself. So when, like you said, pain is expansion. It is growth.
You stretch.
So I think when we think about what source is, what God is, it is all. So do you know how much stretching and expansion you have to do to be able to accept the all that you are?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, baby, this is just cool. These are like quizzes. So one of your quizzes or your lessons or your curriculum will be self-love. One curriculum would be self-worth. One curriculum would be like, oh, I forgot, I'm a whole creator. I wrote this. One curriculum would be remembering. One curriculum would be teaching. One curriculum would be like, I got this. One curriculum would be understanding universal law. There are so many different aspects and curriculums that you go through within your life, but it's all leading you back to your God self. You get to
self.
That's it. That's your graduation. Yeah. Here you go, diploma. Mm-hmm. Welcome back. Welcome to God. Welcome back, man. Whoo, y'all. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and the more that we learn and experience this pain, this growth, the expansion, closer we get to our God self. Now, ain't that about it?
And I feel like we've talked about this before, but pleasure and pain, they are on opposite sides of the spectrum, but they're on the same plane.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Same thing, absolutely.
And some people are actually starting to learn how to alchemize their pain into pleasure, because there is a connection there. But just realize, in this particular episode, we're talking about the two of these, like pleasure and pain, being two different aspects on the same coin. So it's like heads or tails.
But just like we talk about light and dark, you cannot have one without the other. How do you identify what pleasure is if you have not experienced pain? How do you know that it's dark outside if you don't know what it's like to have light outside? They are the same thing, and one cannot exist without the other. So if we just take just that, the happiness and joy and contentment that I am creating cannot exist within me if I have not experienced setback, failures, misunderstanding, miscommunication. These are lessons that I have learned. Now, I would be the fool if I refuse to take these lessons with me and keep moving. Then I'm choosing stagnation. Right. Yeah. Then I'm choosing to stand in the pain as opposed to transmuting and transforming that and understanding how dope it makes me. I'm not choosing to be stagnated in the mud. I don't know about y'all, but that's just, when I checked my life contract, when I signed up for school, that wasn't my major. My major was not staying stuck in the stupid. Stuck in stupid, y'all, is a major in the school of life. Although that's not my major.
Like, sometimes I'm like, man, can I switch my major? Can I transfer to another school? Because I don't.
Girl, you're gonna lose
school.
All them credits. Just go ahead. Just keep going, Chrissy.
I don't like this school. I don't like my classmates.
Well, okay, look, this brings up the next point. Don't try to escape the unpleasant experiences. Because you guys, okay, y'all, hear me out. Just hear me out.
Be open.
When you try to escape the unpleasant experiences, when you live your life trying to avoid pain, you are not living. When you're surviving, you're faking, you can't avoid pain and call yourself living. So when you try to escape the unpleasant experiences, which look, you can try your hardest to do. And then when they come, you just act like they're not unpleasant. You choose not to take the lesson. You know what's going to happen? You can't move forward.
Be stuck.
It's just gonna keep coming back. Keep coming. Like, okay, well, fine. We're gonna take a break. Mia doesn't want to learn this one yet. We're gonna go over here. All right, y'all, let's come back. Because the universe, your God self, your highest self, your creator self, is always working and conspiring on your behalf for you to get what you came here to get. So just imagine what type of treason you are committing against yourself when you don't allow yourself to feel that growth. Mm-hmm. Girl, your higher self is screaming at you like, oh my God, is she doing this? Yep. Hey. We supposed to be on the next chapter. What you doing?
Okay, you know what? I got a confession.
This is my confession.
And I feel we've talked about this before.
You got a baby on the side?
Yes. How'd you know? How did you know with the mailman?
He had it for you though.
Man, he had some mail for me, got some checks, he gave me some stimmies.
Some pumps.
But no, seriously, like for me, I confess, like that is exactly what I've gone through. What did you say again?
Trying to avoid the pain.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Absolutely.
Like, or something would come up, I would start feeling something. Ooh, I don't like the way that feels, so I'm just gonna tuck that underneath. Let me sweep that underneath the rug. I don't have time to deal with that. But now, when something surfaces, it's actually very cool. Because I feel like I'm I feel like I'm maturing spiritually. But I'll feel something come up, and I have that part of me, that program, that's like, nope. You don't have time for that. You got to be strong. You got to keep pushing on. I'm like, no, let's feel these emotions. There's a reason why I'm going through this. There's a reason why I need to feel this. So let me allow myself the time and the moment to really be present and feel this.
You know what I ask myself, you guys? Chris, what I stop myself by allowing myself the opportunity to see what's real and what's in front of me. So I stop myself, and when I start to, that anxiety, that angst that comes in, I stop. I'm like, hold on, Mia, what are you feeling? And I stop and I make myself answer because I had mastered in a unconscious or subconscious way to master my emotions so that I can keep it. I know how to do that extremely well. And when I had to force myself, when I started to learn and grow, I'm like, oh baby, you can't do that. That's not doing not a ding thing.
It's not helping.
All you're doing is delaying it.
Right.
And you're building a big old SHIT storm that you like. Do you really want that? So I'm like, no, we don't do storms no more.
And you're just gonna have to keep
repeating
it.
We do drizzling. We don't do storms. I'm gonna let this happen right now. Like purple rain, I'm not, baby. I'm not doing it. Yeah. So I ask myself that, and I allow myself to feel it. Just like because I've been living long enough where I know all of this is temporary.
All of it.
I am not about to take this pain and be like, this has to live with me forever. It's not me. It's a part of the narrative of who I am. And I love it.
But it's also a part of your path to self-discovery. Like, I feel like through the pain, we start to really understand and recognize. Right. Through ourselves. Like, there is this piece, like, I choreographed this piece on some Columbia dance students. It's called Refining Fire. And the dance is about me going through what I went through with my ex-husband. And how that experience refined me. It helped. It was like I was put through the fire and I survived the fire.
Yes.
And I wasn't like, the fire didn't kill me. It refined me. And I think that's something that we have to remember a lot of times. And so now that I recognize that it's not for an eternity.
Yes.
There is light on the other side.
Yes.
When I'm going through it, I realize, okay, let me stop and allow myself to move through this and really feel these emotions because it's temporary. And the fact that we can feel it is actually fucking cool.
For real.
Like we have all these layers.
Opportunity.
To
better understand people, but more importantly, yourself, you guys. Like, man, I know everybody listening to this can think back to a time in your life where you came out on the other side of something. You're like, I can't believe I did. Like,
for real.
Houseway. Like, woo! I'm over. Like
I thought
I'm
I would have
still
died.
Right. I thought that would have put me outdone.
6 feet under, 12 feet under.
I'm like, no more. You're not gonna see no mas. But here I am.
Mm-hmm. Like, and stronger and better and wiser.
There's something so beautiful about.
Reminds me of Tina Turner. Rest in peace. Rest in heaven.
Girl, I could not believe it. Because in my mind, this woman is still on tour.
Right. Dancing. But think about what she went through and how she came out on the other side. Like, that is some strength.
And that's Tina Turner. You like, right. So there is somebody in your life, to my queens and my kings that are listening. There is somebody in your life who is looking at your fire. You come out like the phoenix that you are, and they are looking at you with complete and total admiration. Like, how? And you, in many cases, haven't allowed yourself to see your own growth and what you've been through and where you are now. Yep. And that's the dopeness. And here's another thing, you guys, real quick. Think about this. Yes, we have haters. Everybody got a hater.
Hateration.
You know, or your frenemy or your enemy. Let's pause for a second. People who trigger us. Do you know, if you really think about it, some of your enemies probably help you more in your evolution and your growth than your friends do?
Oh, absolutely.
Because they challenge you. They bring out the shadow aspects of yourself that oftentimes we don't want to address. And if you really think about it, anything about another person that ticks you off, that just makes you want to, is something within yourself that you have not resolved. So really and truly, our haters are motivators. When we're angry with people, when we, because when you think about it, even when you're in a relationship, and I know somebody's like, girl, if you don't, like, no. But seriously, like, if you don't go on someplace with this, because this person did me wrong. But we have to think about, what type of energy are you vibrating at that you are even allowing that type of energy to be in your life? Because really and truly, if you are on a certain vibration that you believe that you are on, this low vibrating, hating, cheating, lying, stealing couldn't even be in your life, because his vibration cannot meet yours, because it does not match. So when we are dealing with people, you're like, where did you come from? Don't look at them. Be like, hold on. Yeah. Well, I'm vibrating. I'm giving off something that does not match, because baby, you do not match my. You are not supposed.
Let me check myself.
How did you get here?
But it's so funny, and I also realized that once you are vibrating on a completely different level than someone else, they don't even, like, giving them your energy becomes like, it's not even a thought. It's why am I even going to acknowledge that?
I can't.
It's like, I don't even.
I can't.
I can't.
I tried. I can't.
Like, there was a situation that happened today. I was talking to someone, and this guy walked in the middle of us. Like, there was tons of space around us, but he walks right in the middle of us, like neither one of us existed. And I'm just like looking around. So there wasn't all this space in this parking lot. Like, there's two of us in the parking lot, and this dude couldn't go around. He had to walk, like, in the middle of us. And part of me wanted to just pop off a little bit.
Because that's what he wanted. Like, isn't that?
But then I
actually what he wanted.
But then I said, you know what? You don't even. I don't even deserve. Like, you don't deserve my energy. It just didn't even make sense.
Do you know, real talk? That is another way to explain choosing you in that moment. Yeah. You could have and sometimes you're gonna keep it funky. Sometimes you're like, baby, I'm gonna give you what you came for.
Because I got time. Because you got time
today. I love a good social experiment. Man. Let me see if I give you what you want every once in a while.
Let me see if I still got it in me. Let's kind of see where this goes. I want to see.
Let's see if this tickles, makes my butt scrunch up. Let's see what happens. But I would say, even in those moments, I'm intentional and I know what I'm choosing. Mm-hmm. I'm not acting like, oh my God, how that? No, I know exactly what that. Yeah. I'm here for the kicks and
Let
the
me
giggles.
go ahead and start stretching.
Let's see. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see if there's a pot of gold on the other side of that rainbow.
But You get to choose is my point. What I would love for people to take away from this is, even in the fire, even if you choose, I'm fighting today, be honest with yourself that that's what you're choosing. And if you choose, you can be like, you know what, you're not worth it today. I got stuff to do. I'm not about to allow you to derail me from what it is that I plan to do for the day because of your actions. That's what you choose. We are always in a place to choose. We are living in a state of fear, you guys, when we are allowing people to choose for us and then we act like the victims. It's like, I didn't do that. They did that and blah, blah. One statement that I work on, like seriously, that I have been working on to make sure that I don't say this is, they made me. You made me. Why'd you make me? You can't make me do a damn thing.
You can't make me do a damn thing.
And so when I try to use that, in the past, when I've tried to use that as an excuse for my behavior in response to somebody, and yes, they bogus. And did I feel like, yes, you deserve all this? At the end of the day, I have to be honest with myself. I made a choice on how I was going to respond to how much energy I was going to give to it. Mm-hmm. And then, do you feel good after that? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But just be honest with yourself about which way you want to go.
And then even if you do feel mic drop, and even if you do feel vindicated at some level,
to what end?
Right. Like, I feel like it's temporary. But then once you realize, it's like, no, I know my worth. I know what I'm worthy of. Mm-hmm, and me to address you, to like stoop down to your level, it's not even worth me giving you that energy. And as a matter of fact, I checked my deposits and I don't have any to give. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing for you. It's negative. Like, carry to one, multiply by, nope. I don't have enough.
I don't. Sorry.
Right.
And so it brings up the idea that, remember, you guys, this is a journey. It is not.
It really is
the destination. Remember, we talked about it's the journey to self. It's the journey to your God self. It's the journey to remember truly who we are.
Yeah.
So sometimes decisions in life can feel like the destination.
It's in the heart.
And it's like, that's just we just started a new cycle. This is a new phase.
This is a
new character. This is a new, seriously, it's not it. So when the challenges are coming, be curious enough about that challenge and what it is you're facing, and start thinking about, how am I going to integrate this into my life? What is this wisdom that I'm teaching myself? What decision am I going to make? Who am I today? How am I showing up? This is never about them. It is never about them. It is always about you.
Like, I'm like, okay, what do I need to learn out of this? Like, what is it?
What is this for me?
What is this that I'm supposed to get from here? And let me slow down. Let me bring my emotions down, and let me just figure this shit out. And once you do, like, oh my goodness, you realize we say this all the time. It's levels to this.
Ooh.
It is levels. And you get to a point, and it's funny because there was someone that sent a DM. They're like, I thought I was over learning this. I thought I was over learning these lessons. No, like, it is a lifetime. It is a lifetime because, self-mastery, there are so many layers to us. We're never
Don't be mad because you're dynamic. You got levels.
Don't be mad because you're multi-layered.
Right. Don't be mad because you're not some old single-layered, basic-ass bitch.
You're like a croissant. There
like,
are
why
layers.
you doing it like that, girl? Be happy. And enjoy
like
all of this.
Like a flaky croissant. You got layers.
You want to be some old single roll, no spiral having basics. We're not. You're just not. Just embrace it.
You are
multi-dimensional. You touch all the realms, baby.
Right.
Reach out.
I think something else is that we need to be okay with learning our lesson and knowing that, you might not see the karma or the lesson learned of someone who hurt you, but I think eventually you're going to get to a point where you're just like, man, I learned from this.
Right. And it don't even, because when people hurt you, you're just like, and you grow and you expand and you're just like, so we just said, it's like, he might not ever see it. He might not ever get it. Guess what? None of your business. Because they played their positioning.
I got my lesson.
Again.
I got mine.
So, look, guess what, y'all? I hate to tell y'all this, but when it comes to, your school, your diplomas that you're achieving, you do your part. You cannot concern yourself with whether it's but they don't get it and they don't see it. Mm-hmm. If you are still caught up in wondering and forcing and being concerned about whether or not someone has learned their lesson and how they hurt you and how come they didn't apologize and you're
about them.
It's not. You haven't learned your lesson yet. You still haven't because it's not about them. Because the only thing you can control is you. And if you are still choosing to have your thoughts controlled about whether or not that person is going to get theirs, you out your bag. You all up in their bag. You giving them all the energy.
You were in their lane instead of your own.
Stay out.
And honestly, I feel like when you are right, being in your lane. Being in your lane gets you to your journey. When you're in someone else's lane, you're not getting to your journey. You're lost. You're off track.
Yep, you off track.
Navigation system can't help you.
Well, you know how you start to feel like, what does it say? What does it say? Navigation lost. Cannot find. Sometimes when I'm doing Google Maps or something, I'm trying to find some place.
Drive.
Oh, girl.
Navigation lost.
Yes.
Because get it how you live.
Yeah, because you on Lower Wacker Drive.
Oh
and
my
if you're in Chicago, you know exactly what I'm talking about. No, seriously, you guys, you're not on your lane.
Right.
You are busy wanting, but no, they did me wrong. They deserved. You are probably right. But what about you? Don't you deserve to be better? Don't you deserve to heal? Don't you deserve to understand what you get from this? That ain't your business. Real talk.
And that's something I've been saying a lot to myself. It's you know what? That's not my business.
And I'm not about to make it.
Right. And guess what? I won't be losing sleep.
Okay. Chrissy, what's our takeaway today?
So, honestly, the takeaway is, for me, it's pretty easy. And I will say, again, it depends on where you are with your perspective in life. But you can always find the blessing in the lesson.
Your blesson.
Yeah, you can always find the blesson. Like your
poisson.
poisson.
I don't know why.
Poisson, blesson. But no, you can always find the blessing in the lesson. But it's only if you look for it. Mm-hmm. Like they say, if you seek, you will find. Mm-hmm. So if you are in the place where you are really okay, what kind of lesson can I learn from this? You will. Mm-hmm. So what's your takeaway?
I'm going with what what she said. I do have some temple work for our audience, our friends, for our tribe. Okay. Have you guys ever seen these books? It's the Pearls of Wisdom, and all these famous people, they'll drop their favorite life lessons that they wish they would have known earlier, or the lessons that made them who they are today. I don't know if we ever did this exercise before, but I think it's a great opportunity for us to do this again, you guys. If this was the last days of your life right now, where you are today, and someone said, what are your life lessons, your 3 life lessons? Write them down. And this is the mysticism of you. Where are you in your evolution and in your growth? And what are the 3 major things that you have learned in your life? And don't regurgitate these memes you see on IG, because how is that really helping you? This is about you. What are your 3 life lessons? Don't go Google it. You know what you've been through. Allow yourself the opportunity to see some of that pain as your sunshine. Some of that pain that has illuminated you to your strength. Those are your life lessons, not somebody else's. So write your 3 lessons as if it's a letter to your younger self. So what would you tell your 18-year-old self about the lessons that you wrote? If your 18-year-old self wrote a letter from your older self. I don't care if you're 20, 25, 45, 65. What is that lesson? That's our temple work. Those 3 lessons, okay?
I love that.
That'll be fun. Do you want me to do this now while you're out? Because I was just doing a quick little.
Do you want to do your message of the day? Or I can do the crystal of the week. It's going to be quick.
Okay, do the crystal now while I'm just pulling 2-3 cards.
Okay, so the crystal of the week for blessings of lessons is sunstone. And so sunstone is a fire element ally that carries the frequency of the solar ray, representing enlightened leadership and the ability to utilize knowledge and wisdom for the highest good of all. The solar ray carries the energy of Ra, which is the sun god, whose energy brings forth the potential life within the earth. And this reminds us of the initiation of light we all currently undergoing, in which our true nature is being brought forth by continual exposure to higher frequencies of light. And so I think this is a really great crystal if you want to work with blessings and bringing that energy into your life. Sunstone is like one of my favorite crystals. It's like a happy-go-lucky happy-go-lucky stone.
I'm glad you brought that up. I haven't played with the sunstone
I love
in a
sunstone.
minute.
I really do. But it's also good for the solar plexus chakra and for your sacral chakra.
I love it.
The end.
The end. Okay, really quick. This is a reading for the collective, you guys. Just our message. I have recently been really feeling like a lot of these messages are for the divine feminine. Now, these labels, feminine, masculine, exist to show different characteristics. So, because we have both inside of us, right? So, but I feel like this is a message for a divine feminine that's going through a particular cycle. So let me tell you what's coming up. Sometimes, as we're going through some growth and understanding and learning, it's like these burdens that we have become so accustomed to holding on and like that we've allowed the burdens to become a part of who we are. So it becomes a part of our story. And there is a group of divine feminine. If I'm speaking to you, this is your sign that it is okay to let them go, to no longer allow the pain, the sorrow, the breakup, the loss to become your story. You can allow yourself to let that go and allow that death to happen. Do not hold yourself in purgatory where you're afraid to fly but won't let yourself die. So you hold on to this burden because you feel like it's a part of who you are, and because you feel like it's who you are and not just a piece, an element of who you are. Just like a leaf is an element or a piece of a tree, it's not the whole tree. So if that one leaf in the middle of a summer is yellow, does that mean that whole tree is sick? No. That just means that leaf is going through something right there, and that's just a part of the tree's story. So in this life, you are allowing a transformation to happen. Unfortunately, where a lot of us are getting stuck, my queens, is that in order for that transformation, that means there has to be a death.
Yeah.
What are you not allowing yourself to let go of? Whatever it is, this is your sign, let it go. It will not fit through the door that you are walking through. Please, please, please allow yourself to see how you are stealing your own contentment and joy because you're holding on something that is no longer with you because you refuse to see the lesson and the blessing of what it is that you're carrying. And it's like once... And this isn't a fight, you guys. This isn't I gotta fight myself to let this stuff go. And there's this, what it is. It's more of, do you know how much you can win in a fight when you unball your fist? Allow the energy of who and what you are and the frequency that you want your life to be on to speak volumes about yourself. If they do not match your frequency, allow that to be. You do not move your frequency to allow other people to come in. Then you're committing treason against yourself in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're stealing your own stuff for what? Okay? And as you will see, especially, you guys, I feel like it's a lot of good juicy times coming up, y'all. June about to be popping, and I don't know why.
Popping.
But as you release the burden of something that you have labeled as an identifier in your life, and you allow it to be what it is, you've lived the lesson, you've learned it, and take that growth to be a part of your evolution and your transformation, watch everything change. When you change your frequency, nobody else's. This is not about them. When you're trying to, like, I need them to see this, I need them to understand this. You are missing the point. Change you, and watch how people who don't match that, they would just fall away because they can't touch it. They would either rise or fall to meet your frequency. But you do not rise or fall within yourself. Be true to who you are, okay?
Yep.
And let's see, our last is... You are your knight in shining armor. Find a balance within yourself as your divine feminine and your divine masculine come together to create that's the chaos you need. That masculine and feminine within you to create that growth and that chaos you need to create what you want. You are the knight in shining armor. Nobody's coming to save you. I don't know how many times we got to say this to ourselves.
Ain't nobody coming.
Ain't nobody coming, baby. This is it. You are it. Look in the mirror and be like, oh, my bad. Here I come. Because that is the truth of your story. It is your story. You create it. You create the vibration. You live it. You bring in the characters, all based on you just being who you are. So you are doing yourself a disservice the longer that you allow yourself not to be yourself. And we do it consciously.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you are feeling, wishing, dreaming, and you tell yourself, man, I don't know how this could ever happen. Spirit is asking you to stop saying, I don't know how this could happen, and accept that it is.
Oh my
if it is within you, if it is something that comes to you, you see it over and over again, you smell it, you feel it, you breathe it, you taste it, it is yours. The only way that it is not yours if you decide that it is not. This is all about you. Here comes the sun. And allow yourself to drop the illusion that you have created within yourself, that you are something that you're not. Do not live to prevent pain because you are not living. Live and trust yourself that whatever comes your way, that guess what? You got it, because you do. Because guess what? You're still here and you got it. All right, y'all.
And you chose this life.
And you chose.
You chose all this. You chose these lessons. So there's nothing, I mean, you chose this, so you're not going to allow yourself to fail. But that was such a good message, Mia.
All right, y'all. We will see you guys.
Wait, should we talk about the full moon thing?
Yes. Or... Oh, wait. Full moon is... Hold on. Chris, let me look at my... June 3rd or 6th. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
I think we're doing the 3rd.
Full moon. Guys, we're going to do a full moon circle virtually for the full moon coming up on June 3rd. We're going to have a good time. We're working on a couple of things. We did a poll. So what did we come out with? Morning? Okay. So because that's a Saturday, I believe, correct?
Yep.
It's a Saturday. We polled our friends on IG. If you're not following us on IG, please do.
Why not?
At Two Queens Crystal Things. Please follow us, where we will talk about and post for this upcoming full moon time, you guys. So please follow us. Follow Christy at Christy R. Edwards, and that's a Christy with an I-E and Edwards with an S. And then you can follow me at Wings Unleashed 444. So we love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much. Light, peace, love
and soul. Bye-bye.